mentioned in the Holy Quran.
But it's not.
But it's not, but I'll tell you about it. So the left, yeah, so lots of corrections to the, but on the left, there will be the mummy of the, why the crocodile? Because the crocodile, it actually, Faiyum was called Crocodipolis in the days of the Ptolemies. City of the crocodile.
Wow.
Polis means city, and crocodile. So Crocodipolis. Tashi, land of the lake, then Shidit, then Crocodipolis. I wouldn't let the sun rays go down on the mummy of the crocodile because
it's dead.
It's dead. How am I how am I putting life in a formation of the afterlife? Religiously, from the ancient Egyptian point of view, that is wrong. Number two, sun can affect the mummy. Practically, we are talking here, can affect the mummy badly. So I want to preserve the mummy, one. I don't want to illuminate a dark place. Three, I wouldn't put light in a character or right over a character which is performing at that particular time the 12 hours or the night life or the afterlife in darkness. So once again, he proves his genius. Even if we're talking about in the days of the Ptolemies. Because Ptolemies also studied the astronomy of ancient Egypt and they added to it. And they added fine. And they worked fine on that, the Greeks, Macedonians, right? So, Ma'bad Qasr Qaroun, the temple of Qasr Qaroun. Of course, that's a naming which is pretty modern because it's not far away from the lake. Qaroun is not actually Qaroun was mentioned in the Holy Quran. As a matter of fact, this building in Faiyum that we are celebrating today is not a palace, it's not a qasr. Because it's called Ma'bad Qasr Qaroun. The temple of Qasr means palace. Qaroun is the character named in the Holy Quran. It's a temple. It's not a palace. So that's number one. Number two is, why do we call it Qaroun then? If it has got nothing to do with Qaroun, the character that we know about. Well, Qaroun is coming from Qurun.
Centuries?
Actually, you will be amazed to know that in the Arabic terms, Qurun are small waterways that will come down and will support the lake.
I thought you meant qarn as in
Qarn
century.
as century, which is same pronunciation as well. So those kind of water, small waterways is going to support the lake with water. And there will be gulfs. Gulfs and waterways in Arabic, qurun. Qarn is that waterway. Qurun is the plural. So we're talking waterways. The lake of the waterways, which makes sense. And then afterwards it became Qaroun. They added the A and they related it to the character mentioned in the Holy Quran. And from here came the idea
but it's
of
not.
Qaroun.
Just to correct some information, because we got a lot of information that Egyptians unfortunately misuse today, but we do have all the important things.
Exactly, exactly. So I'm pretty happy with that we are looking at here. The reason for that is that this year we are performing in a nice way. I'm talking we authorities, we media, we tourism, we temples, we Minister of Monuments and Archaeology and Antiquities, people. We are concentrating. Look at this. It's amazing.
Really good to hear.
It's amazing. That solar. Yeah, I mean, you don't hear me saying that a lot on my.
Yes, that's why I said it's good to hear. When is it supposed to when should we be expecting it?
It actually took place. It would take place at the sunrise.
Okay.
And it will stay for about 4 minutes. So it's already took place.
Oh, okay.
Right? And it stays for some minutes. And then, of course, it rises.
But I mean tomorrow, exactly at sunrise.
Yes,
okay.
with the difference as you mentioned. This is an amazing scene. I love that scene. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the pylon on the right.
Go exactly in between.
The pylon on the left. So this is the hill. Look at that one. The hill on the right, the hill on the left. And here comes the sun resting in between. Perfect. Thank you very much, Egyptian genius, because you had just shown us the akhit, the horizon. And by the way, the term akhit was used for one of the seasons of the year, because that's a person who designed all of this, or a society that designed all of this. They knew their time very, very well. They knew their astronomy, they knew their movement, they knew their timing. And by looking at Akhet, you will notice that it's one of the 3 seasons of the year. The ancient Egyptian divided his year into 3 seasons, not 4. Okay, so today we are dividing our year into 4 seasons. Now, he made the season of the flooding, the season of the summer, and everybody will know the name of the season of the summer in Egypt because we're still using the same name, and the season of winter. So he called in hieroglyphs Akhet, that's the season of the flooding. Why? Is the flooding got to do anything with life? As a matter of fact, with resurrection. And since the solar disk today is reborn, see, this is the rebirth
Of the sun.
of the sun. And this is when the sun is so circular and so sphere-like and so huge and so close to the ancient Egyptian eye, naked eye. So the celebration was called the Feast of the Big Ra.
The big sun.
Sense. Why is he calling him Big Ra? Because that's the biggest Ra he ever saw. That's the biggest solar disk he ever saw. Afterwards, the sun will become a little bit smaller because it's going to go a little bit further. So the flooding will resurrect the land because the flooding will bring the mud and the silt. And the silt will make the land fertile, will make it ready for you to put the seeds, to sow the seeds, and then wait for the greenery to come out. Make green. So Akhet, the flooding, Akhet, the horizon. Look at this one. This is amazing. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Look, the solar disk precisely. Where else? Where else do you see such thing? Huh?
Only in Egypt.
Only in Egypt. Only those guys, you know, the ancient Egyptians, you guys. You impress us every time. How many times Egyptians saw that? Millions of times.
As I said before, it just puts me in awe, and I'm sure the tourists who are here in Egypt now are enjoying this very much. And again, we're going to see this tomorrow and the day after. Mr. Shammaa, author in Egyptology, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's a pleasure. And we've got some very useful information, corrected information.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Have
a good day. Right now, coming up next, we'll have the top stories of the hour, and after that, we'll be waiting for our correspondent who will bring us, will be with us live from Luxour to tell us some more information about what's going on in the governorate right now. Thank you for watching.